What's happening, people? Welcome to United View and welcome to the preview for our game against Everton, Saturday, 12:30. Big game. Another 3 points needed. 3 points against Brentford in the bag. That is lovely. We're going to talk about the squad. We're going to talk about our feelings about this game because we need to start building momentum. We need to start getting a little bit of distance between ourselves and Spurs and keep up the pace with Newcastle. Let's face it, if we want to have a little mini race for third, just to make it interesting, we want to finish as high as possible. Newcastle going like a steam train right now. So, and their next game is against Brentford away. Which is tough. But, you never know. Brentford were a little bit, off it against us. Could they raise it against them? And Tottenham play Brighton at home.
Yeah.
So there's something going on there. So we have to make sure we win our game, though, regardless of what happens. Because if both win, we have to make sure we just keep winning. Just keep winning football matches. I know it's not about other teams, but you do keep an eye on them. We want to know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Especially with the fifth place, because if we can get a little bit of a gap there, then it is what it is with third. If you get third, great. At third, fourth, I don't really care. It is nice to finish third, but at this stage, I just want to finish in the top four. You don't get extra brownie points for finishing third, 1 point above fourth. It doesn't matter. Just get in the top four.
Yeah.
Then we can focus on getting in the FA Cup final, winning the FA Cup, fingers crossed, progressing in the Europa League. But it's business time. It's Sean Dyche. It's Sean Dyche coming to Old Trafford. He is going to know exactly what to do. He is going to have them well drilled. They are going to work their socks off. And I think it's going to be a more difficult game than Brentford's. Personally.
I agree. I was saying that on Match Day Reloaded that you know what to expect from them, don't you? They are going to sit back. They're going to play very direct. It's going to be balls into the box. It's going to be set pieces, which is going to be interesting regarding the whole De Gea conversation. He's going to have to come and claim some crosses, or he's going to be put under considerable pressure. Sean Dyche is not naive. He will say put pressure on the goalkeeper. Their form, to be honest, in the last 5 games isn't bad. They've got 1 defeat in 5, 3 draws and a win. And the last few games they've had have been against some, decent sides, which I think they would have thought, I don't know how we're going to get results against this. But drew against Spurs last minute, feisty game, 2 red cards, drew against Chelsea. They beat Brentford at home, drew away to Forest. So you can see, basically, since
they're harder to beat.
Of course, exactly that. That's exactly what I was going to say. They make it difficult to beat them. And they've got some decent results since Sean Dyche come in. I'm just looking at the results since he came in. Of course, they beat Arsenal. They beat Leeds. As I said, they've drawn a few games as well, got some victories, which they were not doing previously. If you played Everton under Frank Lampard, you go easy 3. Easy. Now, it's going to be tough. It's going to be really difficult. And I feel that when we played Brentford in the week, it was more so we played better than we did against Newcastle, but I felt that Brentford underperformed a little bit. Honestly, I was quite disappointed with what I saw from Brentford. I was expecting a bit more. And that's not to say that Everton are going to come to Old Trafford and play us off the park, but they will be up for it. They are certainly fighting for their lives. They won't fear Old Trafford. I don't think they'll fear it because, again, they've got some decent results recently, and they'll know if we stick to Dyche's game plan, we've got a chance. So I think that it's United's prerogative to start quickly, which we don't really tend to do, but start quickly, get an early goal and settle into the game. But like you said, making a mistake, it's going to be a really challenging game. But you look at your top 4 rivals and you look at the games that they are playing, like you said, Newcastle playing Brentford away in particular. You look at that Brighton Spurs game, you go, I tell you what, if we get the win that we should get against an Everton side at Old Trafford, you would think that at least in one of those games, there's going to be a slip up. That's the gap that you need. And to be honest, the gap that you're talking about, the top 4 race, that's our own making, because the gap was there previously. It's only because we've been slipping up recently that they've started to catch up with us. So
make the gap up kind of slowly as well. It's like not all in one, like back to back. It's like little niggly draw there, loss there. Oh, win.
Well, when you don't win in the league in 3 games, people are going to catch up with you. And that's what happens.
Well, look at our last 5 games. Do you know what I'm saying? Win, lose, draw, lose, win. That's the last 5.
It will catch up to you. People, because you can slip up once. Sometimes how the Premier League works, you slip up and then the other team slips up and you go, oh, didn't we get lucky? Or that's what you've got the cushion for. When you slip up like 3 games in a row, then the gap's obviously going to get a lot smaller. So the positive thing is, and I wasn't sure I was going to be saying this prior to the game on Wednesday, but, certainly our fate is within our own hands still. That's the positive thing. We're still in control and we've got to control it.
Yeah, exactly. Look, 3 points ahead of Spurs, with a game in hand. If we can keep pushing on that, we can make that 6 points. But actually, in the immediate, we need to be ready to pounce to increase that gap before the game in hand even comes about. That game in hand, actually, it might even be the Brighton away game. I think it is. I think it is Brighton away, which again, you just want points on the board. Spurs are the team
Exactly.
that will drop points in this hard run, and we need to be ready to seize the moment. Especially we did 2 home games. Our away form is the questionable form, and it hasn't been questionable against the bottom half teams because we've got quite a few bottom half teams to play, and we have to play Spurs as well. But going away to Forest, now when they're needing points and they're really good at home, I know we smashed them up in the Carabao Cup 3-0,
It's
but
not given.
it's not going to be like that. So, and that's the next Premier League game, I think, after Everton. So I think it is, isn't it? Yeah. So we have to. I don't like looking forward too much, but unfortunately, in this little mini run, we have to. Yeah, because after Sevilla, after Everton, the following Sunday is Forest away, and that's going to be tough. You don't want to be
Yeah.
having drawn at home to Everton. But team news. What was the quote that Erik Ten Hag said about Christian Eriksen
Yes.
after the game yesterday?
This is exciting. So he was asked by Viaplay in Denmark whether Eriksen is in line to make his comeback at the weekend. And Erik ten Hag said, "We will see. We see it from day to day. He is progressing. He is now back only this week in team training. And the day after tomorrow, talking about Thursday and Friday, we have 2 sessions. After that, we will decide if he's going to be back in the squad." And just at the time in which we're actually filming this, the pictures have just come out of Eriksen in first team training with the squad. There's even a picture there of him on one side of it, and just sort of in front of it, just sort of half out the picture, there's Casemiro. It's a bit of a tease, Fleck. Bit of a tease of what's to come in the future. He's not starting against Everton. No. Wouldn't be shocked if he's on the bench. Comes on for 15, maybe. And I say 15, depending on the situation, I mean, there's two situations. There's one which the game's wrapped up and you bring him on just purely for minutes. There's the other whereby it's 0-0 and you need a bit of creativity. You need a bit of something. Actually, there's another one, or you're losing. And you're like, actually, let's bring. We don't really want to bring him on, but we've got to risk it. But he won't be starting. But it's just good to have him even back in training, isn't it?
Just back in training, yeah. I'm not sure of how. I think it's really hard to predict. I mean, we've had a little bit of fun with predicting when he's going to play and when he's going to come back, what games he's going to start, etc. Between me and you. I think, but essentially, it's really hard. He's been off so long to nail down is even going to be in the squad on Saturday. Like, he still might not be. Do you know what I mean? He's still actually, you know what Erik ten Hag's like. They'll train fully today. There won't be a full training session tomorrow. There won't be a full training session tomorrow. Then obviously the next day's the game. So it's like, is that enough to even get him on the bench where he can play 15 minutes? It might be, but maybe Erik ten Hag looked at it and went, "Nah, I need you to have a couple more training sessions first. I need you to train Monday, Tuesday, light on Wednesday, then ready on the bench against Sevilla." He might say that. We don't know. It all depends how they react. And actually, after the training sessions, they need to make sure nothing flares up. How do you feel? There's so much stuff because we thought that Martial might be able to start against Everton against Brentford last night.
Well, you say that, but that's a different situation, isn't it, Anthony Martial?
I know,
because he's not robust.
So
Christian Eriksen,
but he played less than he played against Newcastle.
I know, because it's impossible to predict. It's impossible to predict Anthony Martial. To be honest, you could argue, does Anthony Martial start?
I don't know if he will. I don't. Yeah, it's really. I think after getting too carried away after seeing him against Newcastle and be like, he has to start against Brentford. He must start. I thought it was a give, not given, but well, in my head because I built it up so much. Where I was like, don't care if he can only last a half. Start him, get him off. Like, you just get in that frenzy, and it just goes to show how football works. Just calm down. The manager knows the best thing to do, when to bring him on. And we got the win in the end, but he played less than he played. He made that change quite late. I thought he'd come on earlier than that.
And if you'd have said to someone before the game, Weghorst isn't going to play, you'd go, well, Martial starts. No.
Yeah.
Weghorst didn't play. Martial did not start either. So to your point, I wouldn't completely.
I don't think he'll start.
I don't know. If he does, he's still not playing the full game. Either way, Anthony Martial is not playing 90 minutes. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be stunned if he starts, but I just don't know. I really don't know. Do you reckon he goes for the remainder of the season? He doesn't play 90 minutes.
Yeah, I said that already. And I stand by that. I said that before he'd even come back against Newcastle when he was when we was doing them full view extras, and the conversation was, can Martial impact the rest of the season?
He's
Which
not going to play
absolutely he
90
can.
minutes for the rest of the season.
I don't. Maybe it may. I take okay. I don't. Maybe he might play 1 or 2 right near the end. Maybe, but no. Anytime now, as we're getting him back. So what are we in April? For the rest of April, he won't. No way.
No.
So then that leaves the rest like May.
Only May.
And then
that's it.
do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. So maybe like if we got to the Europa League final, he might be able to do it. And maybe like last Premier League game of the season, what is that? Away to Bournemouth or something? I can't remember. Or whatever it is. He might be able to towards the back end. But this little initial period, he might. I reckon he would. If he did, he wouldn't play more than. How many games left in the league? 11. 3 games. He wouldn't play any more than 90 minutes.
It's one of those ones, isn't it? Where, when like people get injured at this time of the season and the way they always lead with it is he's out for the season. And you go, well, yeah, because there's like a month or so left of the season. Yeah. So it sounds big on paper. Yeah. When you say Martial's not going to play 90 minutes, they'll go for the rest of the season. You go, well, if you think about it, we've got to April. We're in the real business.
But it is a lot of games, though. But it is a lot of games in the Premier League.
10 games.
That's a lot of games still. That's a big
plus Europe,
portion of games,
plus cup competitions. No, I still don't think. Yeah, I still don't. Exactly. I'm not sure I can see it, but I think I wouldn't rule him out starting at the weekend. I know you're saying he's not going to start. I think he could.
So. He absolutely could. But I don't know. Think about minutes in the tank. It'd be weird if he did. Like 30 minutes against Newcastle. What did he play last night? 15?
Maybe 15, something like that.
You know what I mean?
That's you don't think he can do 60 against Everton?
Yeah, get 60 more.
Maybe even less than that. A light 55.
Oh, it's so mad we have to ration out his minutes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Listen, hopefully he does start. Like I said, you start him and then if he starts, he definitely ain't playing the night and you get him off when you need to. But
do we see something similar then? Against Brentford, like I said, do we see Weghorst not start then again as well?
Oh, yeah, Weghorst won't start.
But this was a bit of a debate I was having with myself this morning, saying that, okay, so we've said we know what Everton are going to do. They're going to get behind the ball, they're going to play direct, and they're going to have set pieces. So, not that Weghorst wins a load of headers, but from a set piece point of view, is there any consideration of him going, I just need a bit of height in there? Say McTominay in midfield.
McTominay will play again.
It will say midfield. It'll be Sabitzer and McTominay instead of Fred. The reason again being is they're going to put balls in the box. We just need that.
It's a similar type of profile. Yeah, I agree. You got big lumps in there. Well, you got Tarkowski. Onana's really tall. Michael Keane's quite tall. What a goal. Don't let him shoot outside the box. Need to make sure we don't do that. Yes, it is typical Everton. One thing though, Everton, I think we have to get this into context though. Everton they will work really hard, but they won't. They will sit in and be compact, and I think they'll do. I don't know if I still haven't seen anything what Thomas Frank said after the game. Actually, I probably should have checked, but they will do what Brentford did, whether they did it by accident or not, where they try to sit back, be compact, not in the back 5. They'll have a back 4, but they will let us have the ball. I think they will let us have the ball, and then in the right moments in midfield, they'll get Idris Gueye and Onana, trying to press and make it more combative in there. And anything like balls into the box, if we're just floating balls aimlessly into the box, it's just meat and drink for people like Tarkowski and Keane and players like that. But I want to see if it is Rashford on the left, or even if it's Jadon Sancho. They've got Seamus Coleman right back, and he's still going. Fair play to, he's still going. He's a very, very experienced player. Maybe Godfrey left back, we'll see. Don't know. Could be Mikalenko, we don't know. But we just got to go. We just got to control the tempo of the game and be crisp, sharp. There's one thing if a team sits off you, but sometimes that could still be them controlling it without you realizing.
Yeah.
I think what we did with Brentford, it wasn't that in the first half.
That's where possession can lie, isn't it? When people will say, "Yeah, 70% possession," but was the other team ever in any fear, or were they up against it? No, they were happy for you to have the ball because you weren't going to create anything. And it's going to be interesting because I know Cam speaks about this quite a bit, saying, Anthony and Sancho are players that are more effective when we have more of the ball, when we have 70% possession. And that might be the case as well.
And that's why I think he goes the same again. I think he starts the same again. Sancho, Anthony, Rashford.
Deeper Bruno?
Yeah, he might do it again because yeah, I think he probably will. And Ten Hag seems to quite like that. In this, while we've got a firefight till Eriksen and Thing get back, he doesn't like what Cam says as well. And we can all see it with our own eyes. He doesn't want McTominay coming deep, setting the play, getting... No, you're not good at that.
Can't do it.
But McTominay is good at, in transitions, bringing the ball up, driving with the ball. And he's got a decent shot on him sometimes. I know he'll hit one just over, but he likes to get on some of the end of things. And he just makes simple passes consistently. I'm not saying that's what we want to see all the time. I'm saying in the context of this game, I think he'll play him. But Fred, I don't mind Fred coming in to freshen it up. But I think if we don't have McTominay in there and you don't have Weghorst in there, it's looking kind of small. A midfield trio of Fred, Bruno, and Sabitzer. Yeah. I know ball-wise, you could say they get back. Yeah, if we dictate the play, so what if they're tall? So what if they got energy? But you still need, I think, one in there who can win some headers from the goal kicks as well, from our own goal kicks. Someone who can nod it on. And Sabitzer won quite a few headers and flicked them on actually yesterday.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
And that's when David De Gea took the goal kicks a little bit flatter. I don't know if you saw it on TV, but I could see it definitely in the ground where I was sitting. Like, obviously, he was trying those long ones, hoofing it up to Rashi. Can't do nothing, come straight back, but you play off the second. I don't mind that. But when he was hitting some other ones, he was hitting them a bit flatter, and people were like gasping because it's just De Gea kicking. So it's like, just if he just kicks it, even if it's a good kick, it doesn't matter. If he just kicks it,
it was like when Arsenal used to concede at the old Highbury, and that woman used to scream.
Oh, she always just scream behind the goal. Yeah, she's a legend. She's a legend. She is. I'd love to see who that actually is. She always used to scream. But yeah,
I was watching Premier League years the other day. That she was good at.
Yeah, she always does it.
Scared of goals.
That goal with the pick on someone, come pick on me with Keane and that. When Ronaldo scored and fell in the net, and it's kind of thing. She'd done it then as well.
And you can say,
I'll have to ask someone from AFTV or something. Who is that woman? Can you find her and get her on AFTV or something? It's funny. So random. But yeah, I think he'll go with the same midfield.
I think so. I don't think there's going to be a ton of changes, honestly. I think the only change, again, could be...
And Malacia.
Right. Malacia in front.
Wan-Bissaka might play.
Luke Shaw's definitely not. Well, Wan-Bissaka might play. I'd be really... Luke Shaw, even if you pull your hamstring...
No, Luke Shaw's not playing.
It, on a Wednesday, you don't play Saturday lunchtime. That's just not happening. So I think you're right. I think Malacia, maybe Wan-Bissaka. I think Dallow's kind of been almost a bit fortunate that Wan-Bissaka's been ill, because I think that game against Newcastle, Wan-Bissaka, he would have played. Midweek, you never know, but it'll be interesting to see if Wan-Bissaka's back. And
hold on, was Maguire on the? Just quickly, was Maguire on the bench?
I think so. Yeah.
So when he bought the defender on, he bought Lindelof and not Maguire.
Wow. I'll double check for you now. We don't like to spread misinformation here on the channel. Let me do my checks.
I think it's quite interesting.
I've done the wrong game, didn't I?
Because if it was to see out the game with headers and making sure he's dominant in the air, you'd bring on Maguire over Lindelof. But it'd be interesting if Maguire was on the bench.
I can indeed confirm Harry Maguire was on the bench. Yes.
That's just am I reading too much into that, or that's just an interesting decision?
I didn't think of it at the time. He doesn't need to come on, Flex. He doesn't have anything else to prove. Yeah, on the bench.
Crazy, isn't it? Like, you're under a little bit of pressure, not like massive pressure, because they only had one chance. They weren't banging down the door, but there was a period where it felt nervy because we just wasn't making good decisions on the ball. We didn't really manage the game out as comfortably as we could have, but we defended really well. But you're thinking, to bring someone on, a centre back, to just header it out and clear it. I don't know. You just probably would have went with Maguire over Lindelof, but he didn't. Do you know what I mean? So
no,
especially because it's going to be up against Ivan Toney sort of thing. And
it's not the first time he did that. Even when he made that strange change against Newcastle, 2 centre backs off, he brought one on. It was Maguire.
Was Maguire on the bench in that game as well? Oh yeah. Ten Hag's really, mate. Honestly, Maguire's gone, man. I know, we know it, but when it's like, if you're Maguire, you're going.
Third choice is Luke Shaw. He's not even fourth, he's fifth. Luke Shaw's number 3.
But he isn't always though, because Maguire has come in a few times and played alongside Shaw.
I think he's number. I think it goes
Wow.
Martinez, Varane equal. Third, Luke Shaw. Fourth, Lindelof. Five's Harry, with nothing to prove.
It's crazy, that, isn't it? I didn't even think about the Newcastle one. Took both centre backs off and put one on, and it wasn't Harry Maguire.
But that
And again,
again
took off all of
was
it. I know
was a bizarre change because again the goal was you've put the one defender on who probably isn't the best
he's
header
not good
of
in
the
the air,
ball.
but that's what I'm saying. But then he did it again though. You know,
Yeah.
you got to go up against Ivan Toney, and then they
Yeah.
brought on who did they bring on? Who was tall? Not Josh De Silva. I can't remember another player who was that striker who's the number 9. He wasn't small.
Sade.
You know? Yeah, that's my cousin's name. She's a girl. It wasn't. This is his last name. But yeah, he's not. He weren't small. So and Lindelof actually missed. I remember him coming straight on. He missed like 1 or 2 straight away. Missed the header. But I don't know. Just food for thought. Just
I feel
an
like you tapped
interesting
into
thing.
something there.
Something that I just stumbled across. Yeah, well, I thought it earlier. I thought why did Maguire come on instead of Lindelof? And
Play
I
the
didn't
X-Files
even
music
think
over the top of it.
Yeah.
I used to terrify me as a kid.
Oh yeah,
God,
100%. So scary. So scary.
Ah, horrible.
So scary.
Nightmares.
Yeah, very,
and then the
very
big
scary.
face used to come up during the intro as well.
Yeah. Very, very scary. Very scary. So predictions.
I was going to say that's your preview.
That's your preview.
Prediction. I think we'll win, but I think a bit like the Brentford game, I think this is going to be a really tough watch. I don't think it's going to be, because that's what I thought coming out of that Brentford game. I went, actually, you know what? Pardon my language, but this was a bit of a shit game of football. So I'm going to go 1-0 again.
Yeah, so that's what I'm going with. Went with that. Why have I got that already? Oh yeah, done DR Sports predictions. Yes, 1-0. I will keep the same energy. 1-0. I think it'll be tight.
I think Rashie again.
Yeah.
It's got to be in it. He's the only one that's really scoring goals.
That's what I mean. No one else really scored.
Put it this way. If we're to win, it's because Rashford scored.
Yeah. Can I say one thing as well? I know everyone knows it, yeah. Anthony just does the same shot every single time.
Cut inside and a whip. Finesse. If he played FIFA, his finger would constantly be down on that trigger. Which one is the finesse trigger? Is it
well,
R1?
mine is R2 because I'm old.
Yeah,
school.
you play with some strange controls, by the way.
I old. No, just pro. If you're old school, they're just pro buttons. That's all it is. It's not strange. It's just pro evolution. That's all.
Oh right. So you've got
R2,
square to shoot,
square to shoot, circle to cross, X to put your foot in and get it. The little thing. Square is to teammate contain. And
I just used to never change.
R1,
I just used to be like, these are Pro Evolution controls. I'm playing Pro Evo now, and these are FIFA controls, and I'm playing FIFA. I don't need to adjust.
No, adjust. No change.
No, you got to adapt to your surroundings.
No. They can't be doing that. So yes, move your directional. R1 is to sprint. L1 player, change. L2 jockey. But yeah. Anyway, FIFA will be back on Tuesday. Actually, me and KG have to pick up where we've left off. So make sure you guys join in that.
I feel like you need a like a counselor there for that.
Jesus, need more than that.
Yeah,
need more than that.
Honestly. I'll see who I can get in touch with.
Guy. Please, that guy. He is something else.
Yeah.
But tight 1-0. We've both gone for 1-0. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know your predicted 11 as well in the comments as well. Who you think will start the game? And actually, I'll tell you what. There is a new game coming your way.
Oh yes.
Link is in the description below to get the Circle app. So all you have to do is get the Circle app, like it's always on the description. Make sure you get your Circle app because all will be revealed very, very soon. So make sure you look out for that brand new Circle game where you can win up to £1 million. £1 million.
£1 million.
You can win it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
if I actually had the Zoom, I could properly do that.
I know you could have done it straight away.
£1 million.
Right, guys, it's time to go. Peace.
Yeah.